So things are looking pretty good with this document. We've got ourselves a 5-page document with, page numbers. We got ourselves a title here. It's nicely spaced using our guides. The text flows from one to the next, and we've got some placeholders to put some images later. However, the next thing we need to do is we need to talk about style. We need to stylize our document. And InDesign actually has a lot of tools to help us do that. So in InDesign, styles isn't exactly, like fashion style or anything like that. It's taking a common set of circumstances and applying it to multiple different areas. So we have paragraph styles, character styles, object styles. These are just styles applied to different objects or different entities within InDesign. So for example, we have a paragraph style. What that's going to do is it's going to allow us to apply things like font, color, weight, how we're going to justify it, the tab size, all of these aspects into one sort of button that we can click on every one of our paragraphs, and we can click this button, and then that sort of set will be applied to the paragraph. Now, this is extremely powerful because it allows us to apply it to like this paragraph, and then this one down here, and then this one right here, and then later on, if we want to change something, like for example, if we made all of those 3 paragraphs yellow, if we wanted to change something manually, we would have to actually highlight every one of these and go and change the color manually. But with paragraphs, all we have to do, or the styles with them, all we have to do is change the style, and all of them will move along with that. If that didn't make a lot of sense, that's okay. We're going to jump into this and let's sort of just dive into these styles so that we can show you exactly what they do. First thing we should do though is let's go up to type and let's go down to show hidden characters. What this is going to do is it's going to show us how the program is reading in our text. So there's a lot of times, even in Word, there are hidden characters behind the text because the document has to understand when are we creating a new line, when are we creating a new paragraph, what exactly is happening at the end of this line. For example, the little tildes here are saying that it's being hyphenated to the next line. And so what these characters do is they just talk to the program, and they can help us too. So when we turn these on, we can see them as well. And you'll notice that these sort of backwards looking P's, these are our paragraph symbols. So what this means is that every time one of these is here, that's the end of a paragraph. So whenever we click right here, if we applied a paragraph style to this, it's going to apply it from here up. If we apply it to here, it's going to go from here up. Right here, it's only one sentence. And if you zoom in, you can also see that there are little dots, and each one of these dots is just a space. So these hidden characters allow us to sort of read our document just a little bit better. And so we're just going to keep that, in our minds for a second. And let's go over to, or up to view. And then we're going to, actually, let's go to window. And then we're going to go down to styles. And then what we want to do is we want to bring up paragraph styles. And so click on that, and it's going to bring up a dialog here. I'll do it myself again so that you can see what happens. And you'll see that it actually brings it up right over here, or maybe it brings it up like right like this, or these two might be together. Whatever it is, they'll be at some point you'll have the character and the paragraph styles somewhere on here, and I like to just drag them over here and put them in the list of different, the layers that I'm working with, the panels here. And so now I've got the paragraph styles open, and you'll notice that by default we just have 2, which is a basic paragraph and then normal. And you'll notice that when I click on it, it actually changes this around. So if I click on this one up here and I switch this to normal, you'll see that it brings everything down into this new text. And that's because normal has a slightly different set of circumstances. It's a Calibri, let's see, regular 11 point, which is pretty much, I think, the Word default nowadays. And if we click back here, it'll be the one I've been working with this whole time, which is bringing everything in Minion Pro, regular at 12 font. But we can, really dive into this paragraph style, and we can actually create our own. So let's do exactly that. Let's go into the paragraph styles, and then go down into this button right here that says Create New Style. So it's right at the bottom here. It looks like the little piece of paper. And a little quick tip is on any Adobe program, if you see this little piece of paper at the bottom of a panel, it means create a new of whatever the panel is. So we're going to create it, and you'll see that it creates this new one down here just called Paragraph Style 1. If we double click on the name, we can give it a new name. So let's give it something like, Fun Style. And now let's go ahead, and if you double click on the left over here, it'll allow you to open the options for the style. And you'll notice there are a lot of options for this because paragraphs can be really complex. We're used to just, having our programs format it for us. However, in InDesign, we are the creators here. So we have the control to make our paragraphs do exactly what we want. And a lot of these are exactly that. They're going to be like advanced, something that you're not going to want to touch. But there are some things that you might want to touch. For example, hyphenation. I don't want hyphenation on. Or maybe you do want it on, but you don't want it as like every single time it comes here. So you could, sort of move it down like words with at least this many letters. So, you can make that go up really high so you only hyphenate really long words. I'm just going to turn that off right now in our fun style. Let's go over here to, let's go down to character color, and let's go red. Let's make our style red here. Underline options. Let's make it underlined so it's very noticeable. And let's make it that might be really bad. We'll just make it a 2.1. We can make the underline a different color, like green, sure. And then let's make it big, thick dotted lines. Ooh, let's make it the Japanese dots. Strike through options, no strike through on. And so, okay, so let's just click on this. We'll click OK here. Now we have fun style here. So the way we apply fun style is all we have to do is click on any of the text in here and we click fun style. And you'll notice it does exactly what we wanted it to do. It takes exactly from the paragraph and goes up till it finds the next paragraph symbol or the end of the text document. And it's going to apply that style to each one of these. So let's say I wanted this one like that and I wanted this one like that. And we can just click on any paragraph, and you can do it over here in the paragraph tab, or up here is also where you can find that. And we can go to fun style, and you'll notice, so let's jump back and forth here. We have basic paragraph. Remember, we turned hyphenate off, and basically the other features aren't actually visible up here, but you can see it up here in the hyphenate. So when I go to fun style, it automatically turns that off for us. And now you can see that it's just applying these effects to whatever paragraph I want it to. Now the really neat part about this is that I can double click here, and I can say, hey, instead of like, I didn't really like that color. I didn't like that everything was, going to this weird red color. I wanted it to be blue. So now I can go here, I can click on the blue, and you'll see that it applies the blue right there, and click OK. And now watch. Every single one of them changes to the blue. So it allows us to style our documents with just one touch. We can sort of cascade the styling all the way down. And so it kind of works a lot like CSS in web design, if you've ever used that. And in the fact that it allows you to sort of create this panel of these styles where instead of having to go into your document and change things individually one at a time, you can go into here and you can actually change them one at a time over here, and it'll make the style change throughout the entire document. So a more practical version might be if we go up here and we changed this color, made one called title headers. We could give all the styles right into here and we could change that around. And then all we'd have to do is go into here, and if we wanted to change the colors or anything, just double click on one and do that right there. Now, however, what happens if you didn't want to, go an entire paragraph? If you notice, no matter what I do, it's going to always select the paragraph. I could even highlight, so let's say I just wanted it right here. Nope, the entire paragraph is going to be selected. To fix that, what we need to do is we need to actually jump over here into character styles. So you'll notice that the names are actually pretty on point for these. The paragraph styles are going to style the paragraph. They're going to style everything inside the paragraphs. And the character styles are going to style individual characters. And this includes individual words or individual sentences, whatever you highlight. So paragraph styles are good for big overarching sort of styling because it's going to affect the entire paragraph. And character styles are going to allow us to sort of create these little styles that we can have some fun with. And so let's create a practical one. Let's create new right here. And let's go ahead and give this one a name. Let's go with highlight. So maybe there's some good information in one of these, in some parts that we want to draw the reader's attention to. And we could give it a name after this that fits more aptly once we kind of create the highlight. Let's make it a magenta highlight. And let's go into, let's see, underline options. Yeah, let's go ahead and turn underline on. We want it to highlight it and then underline it. And that, I think, will be pretty good for this. We can also change the font family if we wanted to. So instead of Minion, so we're on Minion Pro, but we could change it to Bold Minion Pro. That'll really sort of draw your attention to it. And then click OK on that. And you'll notice that since I had that highlighted, it selected all those. So I'm just going to turn those back to none really quick, and then we can work here. And so now let's go ahead and hit Control A on this document, and let's bring all the styles back to the same thing so they all become back in line with itself. And now let's say we wanted to go through here, and that's an important word right there. So now we can actually just highlight it, click highlight, and you'll see that it does the highlighting for us. It highlighted it, it underlined it, and it colored it. And we didn't have to select any of those three colors, any of those three options to do that. And so now we have this really practical character style here. Is every time we find a important word, we can highlight it, and click just like that. Let's go here, here. And, so now I'm just going down and it's like, oh, you're reading through your document. And at the first time you go through it, it's going to be a little bit tedious. But now that we have all of our documents, all of the points that we like, the words that were important highlighted, we can actually save some time, because later on, maybe your publisher's like, this magenta isn't going to come out right. It's not going to look good. Now you can go into highlight, double click it. And just like before, all we have to do is make one change, which we're just going to opening this up, going to character color and just changing it to a new color here. Clicking OK, and bada boom, bada bang, every single one of these is changed to this new yellow color. And so that is styles. They're really, really important because they allow us so much control over our program. They allow us to, just take, they allow us to really manipulate the entirety of how a paragraph operates, how a character operates, and then allow us to apply it in a way that is really scalable, in a way that we can just click a couple of buttons and change the entire document's layout. And that's why I think that they are really important, and that if you're making a multi-page document, you should definitely be using some styles of your own to make it a whole lot easier on yourself.